Manx Radio's 1 to 3, tended by Ramsey Garden Centre.
New music from Bryan Adams. You can totally tell that's Bryan Adams. That is called Make Up Your Mind. I don't quite know what to make of my studio guests. One of them has just told me that waiting to be on air is like waiting for the dentist chair. You didn't mean it really, did you, Graham Curfew?
No, I didn't.
Okay. It's lovely to have you back with us, representing, of course, the Queen's Pier Restoration Trust. But you have brought someone with you. We've got David Furnival with us this time as well, Chairman of the Trustees. Fastermine, welcome to the programme.
Good afternoon, Chrissy.
How are you this afternoon, David?
Yeah, very good, thanks. I'm the one that's sitting in the dentist chair at the moment. Graham just voiced.
It'll only hurt a little bit, I promise. No, it won't at all. We'll have fun. Well, listen, I suppose the first thing that people will probably want to know then with regards to Queen's Pier is what is the latest? Where are we up to? What are you working on at the moment?
Well, we're very pleased to report we have now completed up to Bay 8. That's the entire structure, all the decking, all the railings, all the stanchions. And we've started the process of removing the timber and to some degree the steelwork on Bay 9 and 10. And we've also ordered the steel for Bay 9 and 10. So hopefully we'll get that later on in the spring or early summer for installation during the summer period when the weather's nice.
What a fantastic achievement. You must be so pleased with how it's going.
Well, it's been quite a long winter and we've had a little bit of delays. We thought we might be a little further along, but we had some delays with the scaffolding because of the timing for access to the legs from the beach. But we're nearly there now, and once we have that scaffolding in place, then the speed of removal of the old timber will be quite quick. We've got a strong team of people, very dedicated. We work 4 mornings a week, and they're fully occupied. In the sort of interim space where we haven't had the scaffolding available, we've done work such as repairing the stanchions and all the painting that's required. So we've got a good stock of material to put in place over the next few months.
And obviously you've been doing this for some years now, but I'm guessing every day is probably learning something, isn't it, on doing work of this nature?
It is to some degree, but I think most of the problem solving occurred during phase 1, which is bays 1 to 3. That's where we learnt the methodology for removing old nuts and bolts, for example, that have been there for 135 years. So we have that repeatability now of knowledge, and we have a very competent team of people who can work very efficiently. So it's not the people or the speed of work that is our constraint in terms of completion. It's the funding.
Yeah.
So we need to get that funding going through, and if we can do that, then we can be very productive indeed.
Funding and weather. Speaking of funding, I mean, you're the Treasurer, Assistant Treasurer, aren't you, Graham? Yes. And so that sort of falls under your jurisdiction. You're still continuing to get some excellent donations through, though, aren't you?
We certainly are. And it's not that long ago that we had a fantastic donation from a Miss Marion Isabel Tate, who left us a total of £122,000. And, of course, our founding member, Mr. Tom Durrant, also gave us £100,000. And then if you then go back to November, December, where we had the 96-year-old gentleman who was walking to all the harbours on the Isle of Man, and that generated just under £10,000.
Wow,
donation.
that's incredible.
So, that has been superb. Not only that, we are still getting superb support from the community, and they still attend all our functions, be it the sort of Christmas light switch on, and then the 2 days we had to walk on the pier in the evening with the sort of lights all on. They just come in their droves, and they're very, very generous to us. So the community is also still very, very strong.
It's nostalgia, I suppose, to an extent, isn't it? That people love that, and it's preserving something that is so important in the island's history. So I guess that's why a lot of people do want to support. But also, I'm guessing with what David's been saying about the completion of the bays and moving on to more bays, is that freeing up an opportunity as well for people to support you by the likes of buying the planks and stanchions and that sort of thing too?
Absolutely, yes. As more, the Bay 10 is when we start on that in earnest on the replacement wire. We will release those planks and stanchions, etc., for sale to the public, and that will be announced on our Facebook page. And I'm not going to put myself, in a spot here. But let's say somewhere around maybe the middle of May, if you start looking at our online shop, then you may well see that
the planks
there are
appearing.
planks and stanchions
And
available.
they're so popular because it was putting your name on this piece of history, essentially, which is a wonderful thing to do. Well, don't go anywhere. We're going to chat more about the pier in just a few moments. Do you know, I think that's quite fitting, actually, considering we're talking about the Queen's Pier restoration at the moment, which, of course, is run entirely by volunteers. It is incredible the efforts they go to. We were just hearing there from David Furnival, who is the chairman of the trustees. We were talking, David, about the fact that, you know, everyone there is a volunteer and puts in an extraordinary amount of work and effort to make this pier happen, to actually rebuild this pier. And you're always on the lookout for more people to help, aren't you?
Yeah, we have broadly, I suppose, 3 divisions of volunteers. There's the heavy gang that do the work, the physical work of removing the old structure and putting the new structures in place, and they're supported by a team of people who help with the painting of the various pieces of material that go in, to protect it from the marine environment. We've got our fundraisers who work tirelessly to organise events that raise funds monthly on a regular basis. And we have the administrators, that includes the trustees, company secretary, bookkeepers, that sort of thing, that help support the administration of the trust. And in that sense, I would like to mention the sad passing of David Moore, who's been a long time supporter of the pier. I worked with David back in 2017 when we were on phase 1. He was a real hard-working guy. A working farmer right to the very end. He was also our bookkeeper, and sadly we've lost David's contribution. But I would like to thank him and his family and remember his effort, which was fantastic.
And what a legacy, he's leaving behind in the work that he's done.
Absolutely. We also have a company secretary who will be retiring this summer, George Monk. He's also been a fantastic supporter of the trustee organisation, and we're looking for a new company secretary. So there's 2 examples of volunteers we need immediately, a bookkeeper, a company secretary. One person could do both, of course, if they were so inclined. So that would be a very, very nice recognition of contribution from our local people.
And it must be an incredibly satisfying thing to do. I mean, if you're trying to convince someone to come on board with what you're doing here, I mean, I can hear anyway when we talk to you about it, the passion and the enjoyment you obviously get out of it. But what would you say to someone if they're thinking maybe not? What might encourage them?
Well, I think this is only possible because of the spirit of the community. All the money comes from local resources. All the volunteers are local. Not only Ramsey, people come up from Douglas and other parts of the country to contribute over years. And without that community spirit, then it wouldn't be possible to do this. So it's probably the biggest community project we have on the island, certainly maritime project. It's a hugely ambitious. People thought we couldn't do it, but we're now heading towards completion of Bay 9 and completion of the first stabilising structure, where we'll have a full encirclement of benches, the original cast iron benches, a real destination. So we're proving we can do it. People who come and work with us tend to stay, and they're committed. So I think it's very fulfilling.
Wonderful thing to be involved
contributing to society.
Absolutely. And again, the sort of future history of the Isle of Man. And you can email qprt@manx.net if you want to find out more about that. You can phone as well, 355104. Coming back to you, Graham, it's nearly time for the open days again. When do they start and what can we expect this year?
Well, it starts on Sunday the 4th of May. So we'll be open every Sunday from then until the end of September, from 2 till 5 in the afternoon. All I can say at the moment as to what to expect is, apart from a ride on the train, of course, but we always have free drinks there, hot and cold drinks, and I'm looking at some varied entertainment to put on various Sunday afternoons, just to break it up and to attract more people onto it. So if anybody knows any groups or singers that might like to come along, then we'd be more than delighted to hear from you.
Maybe I can convince my girls and we can come and do a little set for you.
That
Love
would be
that.
wonderful.
As long as we can have a ride on the train.
Absolutely.
That train is beautiful. I mean, there's lovely photos on the Facebook of the train, and it's no mean feat organising something like that, is it? Getting a train like that on a pier.
I know. It was, but it's the original train that was built specifically for the pier as well in 1937, and we've been very fortunate to be able to call on Paul Carey and Sons, his trucks, to lift it off and lift it back on again. And this year we moved it to Ramsey Shipping Services just for convenience, so we could do the maintenance on it. And we now have an offer from Ramsey Shipping for them to not only provide it with its winter hibernation, but they are going to draw up a programme of maintenance for the train over the winter as well. So that's a fantastic offer from Ramsey Shipping.
It is wonderful. And I suppose that's the thing, isn't it, David, with something like this? I mean, it is an expensive thing you're doing here. It does cost a lot of money, and even little things like that is going to take a huge chunk. And what incredible support from them. And you've had some support from some businesses, just mentioned Paul Carey, over the years that have really stumped up, haven't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Without the support of the local businesses, the logistics, the contribution with labour, the scaffolding, there's all sorts of work which we can't do as just volunteers. They need specialist experts to fulfil that requirement. So yeah, we thank all the local businesses for their contribution, and we hope they continue, and we hope new ones look at the opportunity they can to support us as well.
Absolutely. So Graham, just remind people again who are listening, whether they want to get involved as volunteers or they think they can support you in some way, shape or form, what's the best way to get in touch?
The best way is to drop us an email at qprt@manx.net. But if you want to find out a little bit more before committing yourself, then just phone me on 355 104 and we can talk about it and see where we can take it from there.
Excellent. Thank you so much for popping in and giving us an update on the pier. And hopefully we'll see you in the sunshine on a train at some point over this summer. Thanks very much to both of you, David and Graham.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Manx Radio's 1 to 3, tended by Ramsey Garden Centre. Open 7 days a week.